JDG, we have them playing up against All Gamers Elimination Game. Kind of surprising to see JDG here. They're running a fairly good composition. The Harbour Viper, usual stuff, everybody's on common roles. All Gamers going for something a little bit spicier. They're still running a Harbour Viper, but not only are they running a single initiator KO, they're also running Delby on the Raze, which for like plant denial and those kind of things, I actually kind of vibe with Raze on this map. More than a Jet, especially if Delby's not that keen to operate, to op. And this is the pick of All Gamers, trying to take Rare Atom to a map that we've never seen them play before, at least the core of Rare Atom now. That's going to be hard to get used to. Like, not calling this team Rare Atom. But JDG now just being aggressive, pushing, win out the brunt of the fights. You lose the Viper Wall on A, but that's not really too much of a big loss. And the rest of this team is heading towards B, fake planting, seeing if they can force out any more utility. The problem, however, is that the rest of the team is here to rotate. Martin tries to fight it, Delby trades him, so now it's a 3 versus 3. Don't really like Martin good for that fight, to be honest. I think he can like hold off and just play the post plant there. Play for the retake. Yeah, and I was going to see if there's anybody close. They're not. Cascade is going to like cut off some of these sightlines too. Maybe they're a little bit more worried about the lurk just because of where those fights happened. But all three of these defenders coming from the same spot, and it's looking actually like JDG were going to lose the pistol up until Yihao pulled that out of nothing. 4-0, Monk's gone up to the high ground, a little bit of whiffing from Yihao. And All Gamers actually pick up the pistol, despite JDG getting 2 kills right at the beginning. I'm getting blinded by like sun shining off a glass table outside. Why are you casting China games? Are you Chinese? You'll be shocked to know that I am in fact not Chinese. I just watched a lot of the region and there's no English broadcast, so I'm just hanging out watching. Also, I'm not trying to cast. I kind of like fall into that trap. I'm just talking over what teams are doing, which I guess is kind of casting, but we're not doing like a proper job of it, you know? Just me talking at my ass. Alright, Stu's taking a little bit of damage. Has he done a little bit of damage? Not really. It's actually kind of a major buy-up from All Gamers on this anti-eco. Spitfire's watching the flank. The turret, I think, is watching across this way. So there was that general B-main pressure. I think they've seen that there's quite a lot of people here. And I think one of the actual like strategies a lot of teams are doing against JDG, naturally, is if Stu is on B, we go A. KNF actually does connect onto Viva. I think he thought that he was going to be clear there. That's a nice kill. Good trade by Monk. In fact, Monk is going to push a little bit more and actually steps into the snake bite, so he was vulnerable. Stu at least gets him. Stu's traded. Yihao trades that. This is like not a bad eco round for JDG. Winning it is going to be hard now, especially for Yihao being on 4 HP, but you've done plenty of damage. And with the buy-up that AG had with these guns, means that they might not even really be able to bonus. They might have to full buy next. That turret's going to kill him. He has to go back down. They're very aware that he's 4 HP. And Spitfire's playing up against this old team, kinda. 3k starts off. How much outlaw have we seen versus other regions? Probably about the same. Not a huge amount in China thus far. But I think now, if you're JDG, you buy the outlaw potentially. Spitfire's in fact going to pick it up. Because all of these players are going to... Actually full armor, but this is like... This is still like a pretty decent bonus. And they have the Reckoning too for Monk. Full buy here, half armor, plenty on 3 of the players, so the outlaw from Spitfires could actually do quite a lot. You got some pressure towards B. You're going to just see this Viper Wall on attack every single round because you have the Harbour to do stuff on A if you need. Means that there's constant pressure that you need to like keep focus on. You even have the Killjoy set up over towards B with the alarm bot. and then turret and kitchen, instead of doing the alarm bot mid and then like the turret back here or on here. Did he have the Viper one way over by the alarm bot 2, I wonder? Or have they got it on the A site? It looks like they got it on the A site here. Kinda hard to see, but you can see the outline of something. Minutes passed. Nothing's kind of happened yet for all gamers. They've just kind of pressed towards A. Not pressure towards B. Maybe hoping that JDG we're going to push up into them a little bit, but this setup is just very... Once we get information, we can plan off of it. I think if there's a player that I definitely want to see more out of, I've said this in like the video where I talk about China, but just even in the last series. Cove is broken. The nanoswarm is good to stop the plant, at least for the time being. I reckon it's going to be used on either side, actually. There's the Outlaw finding one. Spitfire's still alive. One of the players is half HP. Yeah, Spitfire's is low. Have you got a retake here? You don't have the Cove to help you. So the plant is nice and open, especially with Spitfire's just peeking up on the Outlaw. Bouncing the nanoswarm off to buy some time. Pretty bad flash from Sword 9, just displays for peeking. And that might be enough of a gap for the rest of JDG to actually like clear up on. Like good scaling, just death falling their way in. And now just Spitfire's his last alive. So a couple of players lost. But I think that was just a little bit of like a miscom with like Sword 9's flash, and everything was thrown off a little bit there from all gamers. Looked a bit panicked. But it was a bonus. You get a plant, you get 2 kills, you can work with that. And not only do you use your own reckoning, you get it out with the opponent too. The 2 big like post-plant retake ultimates not available. And actually, Spitfires is not too far away from having his lockdown, nor is Delby too far away from having a showstopper. But there's still a full buy on either side. This for me is like much more of a fun series to follow, that's for sure, than the last one. Great flash actually this time from Sword 9. I think the knife was actually broken. Jakura gets traded. Actually able to get a couple more. He gets Stu behind Martin. A really important kill for him to get. More worried about mid with just how and where these players are fighting from. It's going to be a B plant. Spitfires playing from yellow. Putting the nanoswarms. One of them on the spike, at least. I think he used the other one previously. And right now, no other utility to really look at. Harbor's going to come through on the defense, and the recon just to clear yellow. That combined with the Harbor wall, though, means that this 3 players kind of like boxed into this point. It's broken. You don't really have much information. And it seems like JDG's general plan on how to approach this on defense is to use this wall, go for these fights. Pretty clean for Spitfires that now is just locked down, and this should be an eco. And like there's like coordination problems, right? Like the Harbor wall going up and then the recon here. Like if the recon didn't have that wall, it would have pinged like a couple of players and maybe you get a kill. At least you make it really difficult for the post plant for AG. But you reconed out on one side of yellow, the wall goes up. This seems pretty well telegraphed. I mean, quite literally, that Spitfires was on the team, so he might even, well, wouldn't know any of these strategies because they never played Icebox. But he had a good inclination then on what they were doing. There's an eco, and now there's a operator on an eco here for Stu. I would have hated it if it was any other team, but because it's Stu, it's not going to be something that I think all gamers are going to expect, right? But he's not really close to having the Blade Storm either for the next round, so it is a gamble. And the way that all gamers have been playing this default so far is putting a lot of pressure, taking all of this, and then really just sitting back. I guess also it's like if they used the lockdown on an eco, these guys could just be cannon fodder, and they could sib the operator into the next round. Martin actually just gets caught right into the corner. That's kind of embarrassing. And he is seen just over this little gap in the wall. Cove is going to be used to just break off this angle. J.Kuro tries to peek it. He peeks it alone. Doesn't get any help. So I think that this was generally part of the plan for JDG. Is just, okay, we're going to stack the pistols on one site. If they go for a lockdown here, we just send the sheriffs into it. Save the operator. If they go B, might be able to get an important kill and make it like a doable round. Yeah, Yeoman is on Nongshim now. He wasn't dropped per se because of his performance. He was dropped because they're only allowed one import player, which is Stu. Because he had two. He had two Koreans. And yeah, like Stu is just... He's just a bit like...
就可以看到 AG 他非常的有经验，在经典安装爆能器之后，他的技能是呈现一个链条式的去释放。先纳米蜂群。
So I now wonder if all games are going to be like. Did anybody see Stu that round? No. Might have been up then.
以本来就是一个枪械劣势，那你放到近点去跟对方打是完全没有任何问题的。
Nice damage at least done from Yihao. There was some sick sheriff shots. Don't think we saw it from his POV until then. Right?
所以一般来在防守方的一口区，他们都会选择把对手放在点里面来打，他不会选择远距离先跟。
Viper's pit for J.Kuro. You got four players over here. And a showstopper now available for Del B. And a null command too. And you've got the operator up there too. He's hit Spitfires, but wall banged him, so he's down to 40 HP. This wall has gone up, and Spitfire's creeping up, just now lurking. The rest of the team is going mid. We've not having the alarm bot here. They're now going to go for like a nice elbow kill. They found Stu, but he hasn't quite got the kill. And Stu manages to win out as the null commander stuff is used as well. Viva also knocks down the KO whilst he's ulting. Some good damage at least done for Bunt, but now you're in a 2 versus 4. And you've got like the KO, well, it's 1 versus 4, that's why I was confused. It says 2, but the KO is down. And then the last alive is Spitfires. Getting this spike is going to be tricky. And he sort of expects that this is going to be watched from JDG as well, but not quite. Got the operator, I think, just watching like over the top. Gonna play watching elbow. Viva just needs to not throw here. He has kind of peaked too much, and now Spitfires has made this not likely. He's so far away from the spike, so it's pretty much going to be like a save, but if he can get some more damage done, that would be major. Because Martin had no money, 100 credits for Yihao, Viva. And Spitfires is having a life series. Which, no surprise, right? When you play up against your old team, you want to make sure that you show that not being involved, that they should have regretted it. The infamous firepower over IGL dilemma. I do like IGLs, I do like Yeoman, I do like his calling, but Stu is just too good of a firepower player that you can't choose an IGL over him. And also it's JDG, like if this team doesn't work, you build around Stu again, and then you maybe get somebody, like maybe see if you can get Hebe from Trace as an IGL. A lot of really good IGLs in the region overall. J.Kuro has no IGL experience as far as I know. The KO knife gives away that like the jet is pushed up. He's down to 33 HP, you don't have a Sage on your team either, so there's no heal. Quite literally the definition of a glass cannon. And you still have like this default of 4 players over towards JDG. And this doesn't look very like composed, right? And you are just leaving Martin on an island, which I don't know, if I'm any team that's playing up against JDG, if there's a site where there's 4 people and then Martin, I'm going to the site where Martin is, you know? He has a Phantom, so that's going to be good for like being able to like spray. Okay, knife shows the site is clear. I don't know how Martin's managed that. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a Phantom, he's a Guardian. Got baited by the skin. 30 seconds left now for all gamers. And their Viper's pitting over towards B. There's no time for them to rotate and go A. Even the rotations are being watched, so at least like Viva gets some information that people are here. Now he's going to peek and see a lot more. So this is getting really close on time, and JDG still haven't fallen for this completely. That satchel might have... Oh, and the Hunter's Fury on him too, so he does get the plant, but he gets killed. And that's not even on the default plant. You got this late lurk, the Reckoning. This isn't too bad from JDG. They were just happy to play retake on this. The 2 stuns pushing the players back. Do you have a Cove as well in the post plant? Yes, you do. That's half. Martin not afraid to push with a Guardian. I mean, he's getting the kills at least. And the defuse comes in. Nice idea from all gamers. Good, like, mid-round call, I suppose. And it really didn't look like JDG were, like, expecting or prepped for it, but... Prove me wrong. I didn't really expect that the Hunter's Fury was going to just come in clutch there. I mean, losing Stu like that sucks, but the rest of the team has done well. Yeah, I think they save it for sure. Like, that was a good like way to like bounce it back.
马上要把比分追平了，这一分 AG 整体的经济本来其实在之前连续拿分的情况下，经济还可以，对，但现在又被 JDG 追了2分回来，很难受啊，这个经济。
And that's going to go on to 2 that are close.
当前是一个半起分，想要通过提速打近距离。
And now there's a second Reckoning actually coming in from Monk. A lot of like stingers, a lot of like force buys up from the looks of it. Is this a force buy? Is this a buy next? Looks like it's more of a buy next, but we'll see. Reckoning goes in. Delby's just going to try and cut through with a stinger. Beaver's already playing a lot nicer today. Ikira playing off the wall. Good aim. Good trade from Spitfire, but that's not really all that's able to happen. 1 versus 3 yet again. Forcing out some big ultimates, I suppose, if you're all gamers. And nobody has cleared him. He's got his gun back. There's no chance. There's 40 seconds left, so he could actually just book it over towards B if he wanted. Thank God. There's, you know, some of the problems with JDG. I think some of the calling, some of the things that are missed. Ikira getting 2 before that's traded. And this is a nice shot actually onto Martin. I guess everybody just assumed that somebody else would clear it. And timeout for all gamers. So this is Ego. He was the head coach of Attacking Seoul Esports when they went to Masters Tokyo. So he's on the same team as, or he was on the same team as Monk and Buns. So all of these 3, the coach and these 2 players, all came from this one team. Nice picture of Monk there as well. The best hair in VCT, I'm pretty sure. JDG, AGG. I wish I could read some of the signs, because there's probably some like really good like memes that I'm missing out on.
不太敢去摸，不太敢打，反而就是要把5个人的兵力抱团到一块儿去打。所以我觉得现在这个暂停需要改变一下他们的战术策略。
暂停结束，回到比赛，当前的比分是4比4，AG 也是来到了自己的关键局。
看看这个暂停结束过后，他们会不会改变自己的策略，然后形成一个3-2的，可能费一个战术。
Is that full buy-in? They have a lockdown, a lot of like half armor, and the money is still like really on the fence for some of these players from JDG. They have a Viper's Pit, and they're going to use it instantly towards B. KO Knife is going to hit. The Stu goes for a fight. No damage done as of yet. Viva's still here, which I don't think is going to be expected. I guess he wants to fight a little bit closer because Spitfires does have the lockdown. So maybe if he can just maybe catch them on this angle, they might be able to stop that like execute play happen. And putting the Viper's Pit down here. This is JDG saying, try and go for this ult. Try and go for this execute with a lockdown. And AG, I think, have made a really good call not to thus far. Or at the very least, they're taking it very carefully. It's just a timeout from all gamers too, whilst they have a full buy. So really important round for either of these two teams to win. Whoever loses it might have to eco. And these rounds have been fairly slow from all gamers across Icebox in this attacking side. Not that many rounds to go off, but there's like 35 seconds left, a minute, and there's nothing. There's no utility, there's no pressing. KO knife is over on B. That does pull the rotates, just that one KO knife. Maybe it pulled people across, but now they're like, actually no, let's just hold for A. It was just a KO knife that we saw. Ehao playing it pretty good on the angle in elbow. Stu gets a nice one off of a Sword 9 flash again. Felt like he team flashed himself. Now 8 seconds. You probably just have to save here. I wonder if all gamers called a specific idea. And JDG's style was just, alright, let's just hold this. Be very prepared and willing to fight for A main early, just in case they try to go for that lockdown play. Is this Alan in the audience? You don't have the Viper's Pit this time now, so JDG try and go for this play, it's going to be a little bit harder. Ehao, 9 kills, Cascades or High Tide to go across all of this, and the Recon too. So fighting for the space, the KO knife comes through, but a lot of utility has been hit, and a lot of pressure's been put in. At the same time, Stu's updrafted on top of yellow, just watching that main choke. Now going a bit more aggressive to see if he can get right into the middle. Jakiro, a lot of damage at least done from Spitfires, but he wins the duel, so it's really important. Viper wall now, a little bit scary. But he has the Killjoy turret to play off of. Updraft instead of dashing across. At least Bunt clears him out. Is he actually even going to pick up the operator? Oh, he's going to throw out the map. Get it out of here. Make sure that nobody can pick it up for Stu in the next round. And he's even found a little bit more. Jakiro caught napping there. And could have very easily have gone to a 1 versus 1. Ehao's been very safe here at least. And the one thing that all gamers have managed to do at least is keep the money pretty tight now for JDG. Getting rid of the operator and bringing it down to a 1 versus 1. There's a 6 shot though from Bunt. Actually really lucky that Ehao got that kill in the end. And the problem now, I suppose, is because the money is really it was really needed to be an eco for all gamers, but because they have kept the money kind of close, at least to stop the operator, they are kind of going for this. If they lose this, however, they go into round 12, the last round of the half, with really not that much to work with, other than full loss bonus. The only thing I'm worried about is if I feel like watching JDG in the way that they're playing this map, I feel like it would be really easy to anti-strat. And it's really rough around the edges. All gamers chose this. High Tide managed to cut across on this. It's forced up the lockdown a little bit early, which is good for the post plant. Stu is just 400 feet into the air. Nobody from all gamers has peeked it because they sort of knew that play was going to happen. And okay, this wasn't on LAN. Delby, Sword 9, last 2 alive. Don't really know how on earth JDG managed to just delete it from there. But it seemed like AG's plan was to just sort of work around the lockdown a bit more, but it's a 2 versus 2 now. Both Jakiro and Stu facing a little bit too much. Really important duel for Ehao to win, and he's not got it. Delby and Sword 9, there is a null command, and Viva is the last alive. He has a recon dart in 3 seconds, and he has a shock dart. If either of these players try and go for the plant, a shock dart could just kill them. So they can't leave it too late, they have to peek it together, and they do. Nice 4K from Delby. Don't know how on earth JDG lost that. That was a 2 versus 4, yeah. Might have even been a 2 versus 5. Guess we'll see now. Everybody's alive. 2 versus 5. They lost 2 versus 5. That was horrible. It was really horrible. Yao just caught. And, I mean, good call, at least from these two, to just go for the peak together. That's a bad round for JDG to lose.
去抢控，就看正面哪边打架接架，或者说协同做得更好。
两边的起点不一样嘛。那毕竟 JDG 他其实在这场比赛，其实我们期待的是找
I think the worst culprit for it though is J.Kuro. Like he's going for some real like hospital peaks.
上半场最后一分。
Like you can tell that he's a duelist now trying to play flex because he's just out too much. No command, showstopper. Martin actually being caught on like the mid lurk from Bunt. Viva's about to go and fight it now. Nihao goes down early, so they get that mid lurk. Viva's here. Stu is just too good. They catch Viva now. So it's a 2 versus 3. All of these players are spread out. Any other ultimates? No. Doesn't get a kill onto Del B, but J.Kuro does. And Stu might have saved this round again. They don't expect... They expect the mid lurk. Nobody's really watching it. Okay, that's one. And J.Kuro at least plays it. Man, Stu is just way too good. It's actually crazy some of the things that he's just... It's not even like what he's allowed to do. It's such a big part of the game plan. I think that's probably one of the reasons why they pick KO on this map. Is just... stop Stu from being able to dash out. Stop him from being able to Blade Storm.
AG 要考虑一下下半场怎么
样。7-5 half though.
首先先聊 JDG， 我觉得 JDG 他在下半场有一个压力是他们。
And that is with JDG losing the pistol too.
有这样打闪破点能力，那这时候。
And I don't think that like the last round ADG won, like round 11. I don't think that was like them winning it as much as it was JDG losing. So JDG lose the pistol and also a couple of like really rough runs in between, and they still have the lead. So, like they're still the better team here. They better have a very good plan for KO Solo Initiator. I don't think it's as troll as it might seem. It's definitely harder, and I would 100% rather have a Sova as a Solo Initiator. But I kind of... It depends on what you put it with. Like I can almost think of like with Cracks playing KO on Lotus with the Neon. Like that works, and that doesn't feel like you have as much of a gap there. But obviously, Lotus is a very different map to Icebox. He's just resting up. No pressure. Curious to see some of the stuff that they're going to do with the Raze on defense too, because on attack, like it feels like it's makes a lot of sense. A lot of nades, a lot of utility to clear angles and stop Stu being on them. I think more than anything. More than like Stu's first kill starts with like a no scope in a smoke. Like he's just able to do something with an operator no scope that nobody else can do. I want Stu's face as a gun buddy. Maybe if he has like an MVP performance. Maybe that's what JDG should do with like their player card. Just have a picture of Stu. That's really all it is. Okay, JDG. The Sheriff on Martin, because there's not really much other utility to add other than the turret. Maybe not Nano Swarms in the post plant, but... Snakebite's just going to go onto the top of pipes, recon clearing close, Cascade coming in. Really making it difficult for all gamers to go and fight this spot. Knife is used, it catches onto Stu. So you probably have a good indication that this is like where the execute is going to happen. Monk, I think, was just tippy tapping the spray and on rafters from Belt, and he just gets battered by Martin. Stu dashing in, Frenzy. The wall is very respected from all gamers. Stu just popping up, seeing if he can just get some spraying onto Heaven. Otherwise, this is a 4v5 retake. 2 classics for Spitfires and Bunt. I guess they focus more on the utility. K&I's going to get some bits out. That's a Defender's Nanoswarm. It's a good idea just in case somebody pushes up. And somehow, all gamers have found like some good kills. Playing off of each other here nicely, but these burst plants should be kind of hard to break. Martin, nice sheriff shot. And Bunt has made it in a 1 versus 2. Oh my god. That was just 6 shots from him. Time was low as well. Oh my god. Like, because you had people like high-low, you had various like angles for people to be on. Oh, he actually gets Monk's backside just from spraying. I think he just sees like a glimpse of him. But that is another 5 versus 3 lost for JDG. Granted, they were only in a 5 versus 3 in a second, and, well, that's a hell of a flick from Bun. But still, like, JDG win when they have the first kill challenge, right? Like, it's so hard for them. I thought that there was no pressure for people to go for those fights other than them being pushed. That's both pistols going away of AG. And hey, just a lot of like little bits of utility from Harbor, forced out early, Cascade and the High Tide. You got 4 defenders over here for AG. Given no other reason to assume that it's going to be a B execute. And honestly, JDG going A 12 rounds out of 12 might not be a bad shout when you consider that just they are good aimers. From the looks of it, so are AG. Nades come in just as this execute was about to start. Monk now behind the Cascade. Just holding, just checking for the high plant as well, because where a lot of Harbors would want to plant with the Cove. Monk is not afraid to just go and fight this and be close. Stu reads it. At least Martin's able to trade it out, but that is traded in itself. You only lose 1. Really clean anti-eco. Oh my god, JDG. Up that this attack side's going to work out for them, otherwise they're on like tournament point when it comes to maps. You'd have to reverse sweep to pull it back, which is not really what you want to see on like a day like this, I guess.
小火龙还是比较了解自己之前的队友的，我觉得不管是对方什么样的一个进攻意图，小火龙可能脑子里面都会过一下，然后告诉队友。是的，所以能够看到他们，你看就 JDG。
So full bonus for all gamers, 2 bulldogs, Guardian, Stinger. And then you do have the Outlaw now for Yihao on attack, and a Guardian for Stu. K&I, I guess, seeing if there was anybody super close. Hopefully Del B gets cleared on this angle, because there was a couple of these. Ah, full flash from a teammate again! They're definitely not going to expect Del B to be here, because why on earth would he team flash? The fragment too, gets onto Bunt. At this point, I'm wondering, like, whose side Saw 9's on? And somehow, with all of that going on, they've actually come out on top. 3 versus 2. There's still 2 rifles, and J. Kuro still has the spike, so it's not complete doom and gloom. It seems that they're going to be pushing mid, going across from Snow Pile and Orange to maybe B. We know Killjoy, they can actually push up a little bit more into Elbow. And I guess both of them are just sort of looking for individual fights to have, but they are both like splitting up. J. Kuro has 40 seconds, and I guess he's clearing more towards B. Then Martin's got the mid lurk. He needs to slow down a little bit though. He's seen an open B site. J. Kuro needs to be super careful now. Tube! Tube! Oh. And now these 2 defenders are grouped together. Like, that could have gone horribly wrong. Planting for backside. You just don't know where these last 2 defenders are coming from, and it's like they've grouped up and they're going towards CT. So if they're like full stepping here, full running, J. Kuro's going to hear it. And he's on the high ground low, and like you see just JDG don't know where to put themselves.
对，马丁看后路和2楼窗口，然后 J Crow 去看近点的小门。
唯一要小心的是2楼
来了，
Good clearance from Monk.
马丁需要藏
And they've only seen one, I'm pretty sure.
但是你这个爆人气给的点位很尴尬。
And this one, broken. He has to break the cove. Peeked and they just line up like that. That's an eel round, to say the very least. Ugh. Guess they just didn't know that he was going to be on that angle in particular.
其实真的很接近，很接近的，因为可以看看有没有 replay。
Hell of a bonus, though.
确实，我只能说胆大心细啊，但可惜最终运气还是站在了这一边。最后一发成功飘到了头，这一发
The whole thing was sloppy other than Martin.
拆完了。这一分呢，但好像最后起身了啊，那个起身了。
I think it was like it just got half two, so
对，如
I
果
think Monk was still on it.
拿下了，
对他硬拆估计是能拆完的，又没子弹了。
对。 有点可惜，但此时分差还没。
And that was just a bonus now. Delby has the Outlaw and he's up against 3 players with half armor.
蟒蛇远距离选择直架，但开局这个瀑流阻挡你有狙的一个高位视野。
哎，这过点蟒侠其实有。
There's another chaos over here too, and Sword9's already used the knife.
对，这个瀑流其实就主要还是在限制这个非常规的架局位嘛，包括2楼后点也是能限制到的。
We should expect the angle for the operator to be on, but the problem is more. Because they're on raise, do you expect that? You gotta peek from under. Oh, and just it gets traded at least. And J.K. and Yihao tried to do that together. Ends up working out, even if it's staggered by like half a second. Get a knife. High tide, closing off the A site for the time being. 2 players pushing this. Martin is winning out a lot of these like duels. When it comes to the rare atom sentinel off between these two, Martin is winning.
对于你们自己来说的话，自己的主 C 也倒了，那整个 B 区可以说是完全第一时间提速抢进。
And however, I think J.K. just went for the normal plan. With no cove, there's no cover. Martin finds the second on this lurk. Trying to push for more, and he's not looking behind. Monk is just letting this... Monk. He's even going to Reckoning now. Plant's gone in. Both the players are on the site. Know that there's one heaven, so they've dropped down. Good like information to work with, and they're even Aldra in this because why not? They're sort of stunned. But now they're staying in. Viva's got information. And Monk has a rough idea on where Viva's coming from. Does he have shock dart lineups? He only has 1, but 1 might be enough. He's 70 HP. He's 5 HP. And he thinks that he's still maybe on it. Oh, Monk had the timing there to maybe win out the clutch, but well played from Viva to basically close it out. I think Monk maybe waited too long to sort of check, but I don't blame him when he's 5 HP just hiding in that corner. Another round coming into a crazy 1 versus 1. Like J.K. just optimistic, I think. Like most players would panic in this situation. Good reaction for Viva because that could have got very embarrassing. And now an eco for AG. JDG don't really look like a better team here, do they? And Stu's 11-11, so like all games have done nice stuff, I suppose, to shut him out. Money is like very tight as well because he's still got some Guardians to play, 100 credits. But the Guardian getting the first kill is nice. The Spitfire's first death when it comes to like fighting for Tube and for mids. It's the main area that JDG are winning, it feels like. Lockdown is even going to be used on A, but they just wait to see if anybody's going to push it. Yeah, Monk's just on an aggressive angle. Recon for screens is going to stop people from pushing it in, but the snake bite and nade and stuff, the flash, Stu is 1 HP. A little bit less because of the decay from the Viper Wall, but he's 6 HP. Oh my god, like Bunt's Sheriff kills. He's absolutely bunted it. Again, like decent damage, but now it's starting like JDG. Money is still on the fence, but not a 1v1 at
怎么
least.
样去阻挡对方？
我觉得得叫了，因为下一分首先是关键局，自己的经济是孤注
Really
一掷
looks
的
like
先
Yeoman
锋
was a large part of the
再一
puzzle
点
for
呢，对
Rare
手
Atom's success than people
目
expected.
前看来的效果
Maybe,
一般
but there's so much like going on here.
还是在
I think the fact that like this team is now coming in mostly Chinese instead of English
5个人抱团的压力，第一时间
makes it worse.
技能没有办法合理的去衔接。暂停出来了。
果真是叫了，因为其实
Second
我觉
timeout
得
from all gamers.
前面的这几
JDG
分
still have both
AG
of
的
theirs.
整体思路是清晰的，包括也做了一些非
I
常规的
mean,
战
after
术
the
选
last
择
timeout that Ego
但是
had, it
一
looked
旦在他们
pretty
使用
good.
正
Like the
面枪械
response,
上
I
的
think
枪
afterwards
压力的
was
时候就比如对方
solid.
说白了，那这种时候他可能会有一些迷茫，这个迷茫往往是比较致命的。
主要就你
All right, yeah, Rare
上
Atom.
半场打法都就是在进攻。
Rare Atom was the second best team of China last year at the end. They played in Ascension. They lost in a shock result in the grand final. Might even have the rematch for JDG with DRG later on in this tournament. But yeah, they have 4 out of 5 of their players move over to JDG. The only problem is, you had 2 Korean players, which was Stu, their duelist and all-round best player, or Yeoman, who was their IGL. And because of import rules, whereas before you could have had 2 Korean players playing your roster, to make it the same as everywhere else in the world for these VCT leagues, you're only allowed 1. So they cut Yeoman and they brought in J Kuro, who was a duelist for top, so he wasn't even an IGL there. But they couldn't get the IGL for top either because that was Sylvan, who was another Korean.
哦，没有，
不可没有人能前顶，主要是他们没有截锋。
是。
对，有截锋的情况下，可能会选择考虑前顶，但现在唯一能前顶只有 DLB， 但 DLB
Why JDG doing bad? I mean, a lot of reasons, I think. Coordination, new IGL, new map. Never seen Rare Atom play it. And AG are a very well-drilled team. Really important duel for J Kuro to get. Spitfires is just kind of, I'm not going to say inting because that's mean, but he is like aggressively fighting for this. And he was fighting for it alone. It just means like the turret goes down, the alarm bot here, you got the Viper's Pit used, they'll be operating hands again and a showstopper. The Stew is still alive. Bladestorm, Viper's Pit, 1 away from Reckoning. They probably want to try and get the orb over here for the Harbor if they can.
DLB 换了一个位置，远距离还要用民居去直下，但对方误以为他还在黄香，但是现在发现黄香还没拉的情况之下，很有可能知道他已经换点位了。
是的，
有没有技能？好像没什么合理的技能能够去拉出来。
Nice peek. DLB just misses.
身位的干拉，
对
Viper's Pit is going to be used. The cove is broken, so the plant is still going to be awkward. It's forcing out like fragments, there's snake bites from Bunt still. Bladestorm is activated from Stew. 10 seconds for the plant, guys. Don't leave it too late. Plant, you gotta win the fight now. You don't have time, you gotta kill him. Get in. Oh my.
他最后0.2秒1毫就来到棒他脸上。
这一波通过慢节奏拿到了人数的进
J
账，
Kuro
稳定住了前点的局面，但也是因为慢节奏失去了安装
I
爆
think
能
he
器的
had
最好
the
时机。
spike in hand. Was he delayed off of it? I mean, you Viper's Pit, so there's like other places that you can do it. And
他下包的区域只有这么大一点，对方3人都在进正面的话，
sloppy to say the least.
他下包那个人可能会避到，有可能你包都下不下去。
Oh, J Kuro dies, and then just the spike is 2 out in the open. So I guess J Kuro, out of side of his Viper's Pit mind, going for this peak is a little bit wild.
AG 的经济是足够做混起的，那这时候也是出现了暂停的情况。
得思考一下的呀，这高低得思考一下，这个确实时间压缩的。
And there is absolutely. Is this a timeout? Or was it a tech? The first tech pause of China.
时间压缩到哪个地方？比如说40秒或者50秒。
It's taken us like 2 and a bit days, but that's a tech pause.
和50秒，那我前面的时间我有没有做到？
But it looks like it's an all gamers problem more than JDG.
如果没做到，那么前面的40秒和50
Audio issue. It looks like it's for the other side. I maybe thought the same. Like maybe if JDG make a mistake like that, it's because there was like a tech issue, but I don't think so.
虽然这个差距不大，但好像一直都很难去追平。
这应该是出现了一个技术暂停啊，场上选手，而且对于。 刚才我们能够看到这几次 JDG 的拿分，他们在进攻方你会发现本来是打得很顺畅的，但就是因为 AG 交出这个暂停过后 ，JDG 会误以为对方要打激引的，要给你打前压， 然后突然把自己的速度节奏慢下来，但慢下来他们就没有办法去拿到这一分了。
对，战术上可能会有一
She's
些
in this as a
你瞒
chance
我瞒的情况，互
to
相去
check
做一些
everything.
猜测和预判。
As
这
we
些
got a
其实
bit
都
of
是一些比
a
较细节的点位，但其实我
bit
们
of a
从
break.
整体的状态上来看的话，两边的枪法其实枪感实力啊，包括拼枪的基本盘稳定程度都已经做得非常不错了。那其实也可以聊一聊基本盘这个点，可能这个名词对于很多新观众来说会有一些陌
Did
生。
they bring these
基本
neon
盘
lights
其实
from
我
their
觉得它
backyard?
指代
Or
的
I
是
mean, they're
选
so
手
bright,
枪
aren't
法实
they?
力的发挥以及团队之间枪法
Can't believe that they sort of let
枪
them
效
in.
率的一些问题。那这点
But
其实代表
what
是
is the
选手
score on the
团
board
队
for
的基本功。
Genji DRX? Genji are actually a map up and they're 6-1
两
up.
边思考一下，在目
Wait,
前的一个情况
Yeah,
之下
6-1 up on
谁能够去
Lotus.
创造比
The
分
stream
上的
freaked out
一
for a
些优
second
势
then.
因
I
为
think it
AG
was
现
just
在还是
catching up.
差了 JDG 2分 ，JDG 肯定想的是就我要下接下来的这个
Looking to
几回
be
合我都赢，我
7-1
拿到
up
赛点，
with
我
a
要把赛
Viper's
点
Pit
扩大
plant
到
on
4分，但
Lotus.
AG 肯定先想的是要把比分追平，然后再考虑后面的问题。
是的，刚刚也是通过我们现场的画面能看到，有
Oh
一个
dear.
盘上有句话我十分触动，还没有打赢想赢的人，那目前也是我没有确定是给到哪支队伍的。
Taking us a while to actually get like these timeouts though.
当前在败者组
Is anybody else watching China, or is it just everybody else watching Pacific?
去想的一句话，我觉得
I mean, naturally, Pacific, you got a qualifying game. Why would you miss it?
现在目前场上的情况就是我们能够分析出来的，两边首先第一，打法和风格可能完全不同。然后第
Even
二，这
the
个技术
China stream is fairly
看一下
quiet.
JDG 他们的进攻会不会再次做些
And
改变
quite quick timeout actually.
目前回到了比赛，但是 AG 这一边的落位是没有做太大改变的。先看一下目前是处于什么样的情况吧。那同时从这个起枪情况上，我们也能看到啊，这个混起的情况发
Is
生
this
了。
an actual timeout now?
又是出现了技术暂停啊。
Are we back to the
对，暂停
tech?
还没有结束，我们继续去聊一聊比赛里的一些细节。
Don't see any admins talking to the players,
那
so
其实我一直想要点的一名
I
选手
don't know
是索
actually.
奈，他其实在之前老 K1 就担任了指挥，并且他的经验是非常丰富的，他还带有着教练的。
I think JDG will get their shit together later this season. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's a hard system for them to adjust to, or they'll just make the roster changes in order to make it work. No, we're back to the tech pause. We just baited everybody to bring them back in. But yeah, it's just a lot of
没有我们想象中的那么亮眼，但其实他在团
lot
队
of
中他
stuff
需要
really.
承担的职责是非常重要的。
对，主要是九哥自己也说了嘛，他看到了之前那几个小伙子打比赛，他也觉得自己能回到赛场上来。
现场有非常多的 JDG 粉丝，他们也非常的激动，能见到自己的关注的选手们。那同样的，其实要聊回到 JDG 这一边，就是他们的指挥位这
I
个
should probably put
其实也
the
是目前一直存在着一些质疑的点。
like
那所以为什么我在
that
开
it's
开
China
场的时候
VCT a
就
lot
聊到
earlier
就
in the
是
title.
暂
Actually, it's a
且
good
落
point.
败的劲旅要回应
Learning
质
a
疑
lot
这
about
是他们今
streaming
天回
here.
应质疑的一战。
Too many
那么
characters, I
技术暂
suppose.
停也结束了，现在来到了双方尤为关键的一回合。现在其实两边整体的经济你可以看到，他们都不是特别好。经济马上
Maybe it's
断
like
裂那如果谁
VCT.
能拿下这个
China.
关键局的比分的话，谁有可能把比分
Like
再
that.
次扩大一下？或者说，要么就是 AG 去缩小比分，直接打到一个10-10，
Maybe
要么就是
get rid of
JDG 直接
the
拿到
live
11分的时候，对方没钱，很有可能会直接拿赛点。
Like that.
没错，此时的场上比分是10比
Back
8，JDG 领先。心理上
Still
的压
timed
力
out.
是给到 AG 身上的，
Not
因为
back yet.
要聊到选图的问题了嘛。这是 AG 的自己的主选图，
Something
他在
is
这里会有
clearly
更
going
多的
wrong.
战术布置，包括对对手的研究。那其实我们通过
There
数
we
据
go.
上来看的话，可能之前
Maybe I
有太
updated
多
to
三
do
东
that.
港的 JDG
I just wanted to see what I was like in like the
但其实私下
discovery
应该是在训
feed.
练赛中也有过一定的碰撞。
对，主要还是
Like they have the game
这种情
first.
况之下的话，两边应该是会进行一个脑力。
Because I think it's important for me to have like the brackets like
那
it's an
此时呢
English
也
stream.
是会给到选手一些自己
Yeah, that's
去
a little bit
反思
better,
然
a
后
little bit
包括
cleaner
去
as well.
思考过往情况的一个时间。
Because like I guess like sligging stuff don't need to worry about these kind of things,
甚至
but
我是 K1
I guess for like discovery's sake, it's probably
没
worth
问题，很
being.
多选手之前在最早的就像
Yeah, Sliggy actually has it
九
at
哥
the
当
start.
时在 K1 的时候，那个时候跟 Nightbody 啊，然后跟小 K 啊，他们也是队友嘛。就像九哥自己说的，他当时选择了去当教练。
Might have a mental psychological choking issue. I mean, it's very common with like big teams.
带给一些新的选手
Like big expectations, right?
崛起了过后，自己又重
It
新
felt
燃起
that
了
there was
对这
no
个舞台的想
fathomable
法
way
对
for
回
Rare
到了
Atom
舞
to
台上
lose
从
Ascension.
这
Like
两
there
天
was
的一个
no other teams
发
that
挥和
really
表现来
compared,
看
and they
他确实
somehow
在
lost.
作为一个经验比较丰厚的选手当中，他觉得有些时候玩的都是脑子，纯跟你拼心理。
I mean, it seems to be the big one of like choking like finals and stuff against DDG, but the choke being eliminated in the tournament this early that'd be something else. I'm a little bit like worried about them now, but I'm not worried about them in the future. Like I almost feel like if JDG go out of this tournament early, it just gives them more time to prep and more time to be ready for Master Shanghai. And I imagine there's going to be a lot of teams that are like, you know, burning to get ready from Pacific. They're going to be looking to scrim. Maybe it'd take like a week off and then we're out. If they go out, I expect them to build around Stu. I would be really surprised if they made roster changes if they didn't make Madrid. I think that's way, way too early. But if they don't make Shanghai, yeah, maybe try to like buy somebody out. Because JDG have money, they have resources. You know, these players are getting the bag playing for this squad. With that comes expectations, and we missed the first 10 seconds of the round. Production. 3 versus 4 in a blink of an eye. Look at where these players died. Alright, that's a red card for the production for China. Like, missing out the start of a round and missing out kills is not good. Stu's still alive, and it's now Stu go kill whilst the rest of the team go and clear A. These guys are like just stacked over towards B. Look at, like, what are they waiting for? Is there something like... It's like they're saving almost. Look how scared they are of Stu. They're moving like a pack of gazelles and he's a lion. Good clearance from Del B. Stu maybe overheating trying to find something. But now a 3 versus 4, it's a 2 versus 4. Oh wow, like, I guess also like Stu when he peaked, he only saw like 1 or 2 players. Crazy for JDG to rewatch this. Oh my god, the whiff from Sword 9. The Reckoning's gonna make it really tricky though, but Viva's got 1. It doesn't matter because Monk gets the other 2. Alright, 10-9. I mean, that's... Just don't know what happened at the start of the round. I guess it's a good call from like all gamers, like after a timeout, to just go in with the showstopper. Favorite team logo? I do like the Wolves one. Wow, you got the mid fight as well from Bunt, who gets 2. That's like a flats lineup, I'm pretty sure. Not JDG calling the timeout. But yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit tilting to sort of lose out in that case, but...
因为它是各占一半的，有些时候有一些东西，有些时候可能确实没有什么太大的一个作用啊。对，因为你会经常看到像刚才我们所看到的这些选手，他经常就是一瞬之间玩成一打多。说谁是老登 ？AG， 这是你的9哥啊，没错。也是引用一下 Ice King 的一句话，老将。
Maybe I just shot on each of the names. Like just JDG versus AG, maybe. The sooner you look into it, the better for you. But outside that, yeah, chess. Oh, you're talking about chess. Tiny Spots club logo is nice. It is.
是的，那相信很多新系的观众应该也发现了。 JDG 的暂停，其实在最近的比赛里，他都会偏靠后一些。尤其对 TEC 的时候出现过。
Maybe over.
手里有2个暂停的
Hyper-focusing on this a little bit too much, but
是完全一致的。
This is like important.
Analysis 的教练，他可能最近对自己的暂停是做了比较严格的管控，他更多时候去相信选手，让选手在局内进行沟通，做临场的调整，然后在下半场再去叫出更多的暂停，给选手调整的机会。
暂停结束过后，手上没有什么合理的枪械，只有2把数位。 通过这2把数位要去撕开 AG 的一个防守口子，我觉得有点难啊，因为德比是把明居2楼直架过点。
Timeout now. JDG back in on the action. Much quieter start at the very least today. And then you got like the 3 sheriffs, full eco for JDG, so it's looking like it's going to be 10-all. There'll be operator. The nade. I really like the nade on this map. Fragment 2. I think the only thing I'd have the raise, but I'd have the Silver instead. And Martin usually doesn't miss those, but he is only on a Sheriff. It's by the KO knife. Only hits him though, the rest of the team is backed out. They're planning to cut noise, see if there's anybody that might be peeking to see if there's a rotation. Maybe go over towards B, but All gamers are respecting this nicely. Nobody's overextending. Nobody's overpeaking. They are sending the rotate over, but it is, I guess, mostly to sort of play a little bit more around mid. Hit a recon dart. That may be a nice little fake from Viva. Because now these two players are going to be glued in. If Stu goes for a peek, that's enough of a rotation giver. If Stu's over towards this site with 20 seconds left, they're going for it. And they're actually even going to dedicate the Reckoning. Two players on site, one from Heaven. Stu just seeing if he can get something. He has a Guardian. The plant's at least going to go in with no contention other than this lockdown. There's nothing to stop it. They're probably expecting Stu to like be playing in close to see if he can get a kill. And he just goes down as it's about to bloom. Post-plant utility might just be Martin's sheriff, honestly. The snake bite, one left. They brought the cove. AG have to push this. All of these like defend attackers are kind of stuck in this corner. Sub-bunt. The Hunter's Fury as well for Fever. Another sheriff kill. And unbelievably, JDG might have done this. Still needs to get it. And he just has it, I think. It's super close. You have the player. No, he doesn't have it. Sorry. Needs to turn the game sound up. Snakebite was massive. Just delayed enough, even Hunter's Fury. Crazy how JDG managed to win out that round. Well played from Martin, though. Even that shot into Monk is crazy. Yeah, he's just then needed to be on it. Stu forcing mind-controlled Martin to get two. I mean, Martin has been playing good today. Really should have been 10-all, but now they're on an eco. Two are all gamers. Tell you what, Billy versus JDG as a series could actually be very fun to watch. How like these teams are both looking desperate to like get back into the form that they were in previously. I'm trying to clear some of these closer angles. All players now rotating over towards B. Martin's playing it slow. JDG not over pushing it because they sort of expect that there's going to be an eco for all gamers. Also, Raze against that Harbor Comps is good too. Nade is in. You got 40 seconds, so you've got like plenty of time to keep faking these plants. Meanwhile, Stu is just trying to lurk up and get a bit closer. Has he made much noise here? Could have maybe got a couple there, but considering he's on a Guardian, not too bad. You don't really give them an gun upgrade. J Guerrero is playing a little bit better, I think, off of people, but he still takes a fight against Spitfires, so that's no Viper wall now. High Tide should be back soon. Yeah, Yihao has it. And a swarm in the little corner on the top of yellow. And there's the High Tide to separate these players out. Martin's seen two of them, I think. So 9 on it. Nobody's really buying it. Recon Dart shows that he's not on it, but that allows Spitfires to actually peek in. Time, I don't think, is enough anyway. Spitfires, nice 4K. Halfway to having another lockdown, but he's going to die as well to the spike. A lot of like rounds that maybe aren't as clinical as they should be for JDG. But they won't care. They get it across the line and get it onto 12. Good eco, I suppose, though, however, for all gamers. If you win this round, you might be able to put them on an eco. And then you're on 11 as well. Just realized the Spitfires is former Rare Atom too, right? Yeah, he was a 6th man. So it's Spitfires against his old team. 3 chances. KO Knife is going to only get Stu. Honestly, that's enough to put the Viper's pit down in their face. Ultimates on the attack. You have got lockdown for Martin. It's only the Viper's Pit that they have to work with, and maybe a Reckoning for Monk. Kinda doesn't give us enough time in like the buy phase to actually look at the ultimates to see what's working. But they are actually going to do a fairly... Is this just going to be sprayed through? Jail? Not quite broken, but... Nice idea. Where was the lockdown even placed? Was it just on the other side of this? But it doesn't stop the Viper's Pit at all. Not sure about that ultimate from JDG. Like, it has achieved nothing. Even you don't have, like, the lurk going up towards B, but now, like, nothing is falling through, so... Should be, like, good control now. A lot of pressure going on to Monk. Like, he doesn't want to, like, screw this up too much. He's checking through the window. Like, peeking it. And now he has the support of his team that are convinced it's going to be a B execute. Pushing mid here is good, especially if they can get a kill onto Spitfires. That just opens up the map. You do have some information that Snowpal isn't being pushed with where the harbor is. But it now is just like, with this wall, a wraparound on top of the Viper. The Bunt has a lot of work to do. Martin gets one before he's traded by Sword 9. And a plant right in the corner. Jakiro just steps, I think, and gets heard. Yeah, one away from a Reckoning. Like, Bunt basically locked into his own Viper's Pit. He has to, like, solid snake his way out if he can. He can't. Viva's watching him. That's the Viper's Pit down. There is a lurk here, though. Delby, not expected. Not with how that last bit went, and he's just reacted so quickly now. Stu in a 1 versus 2. He has a Guardian still. That's all he's really been able to afford. And Sword 9, just a clean peek on top of him. Actually, not a bad round from either of these two teams. Maybe just some players like stuck in open places and stuff like that, but like that lurk from Delby was super clutch, and there's just no way for JDG to react to him. It was literally just with that Viper's Pit. They expected that would be it, and all of the other players would be coming from like CT.
由于后续对方的回防是一个多方向的夹击，自己的背身被 Delby 连偷2个，这其实是一个非常关键的。
Stu being able to afford a rifle waiting room. Stu being able to afford an off. Timeout. 2 chances. And I didn't catch what the money was like for JDG before this, so it could actually be kind of rough. What was it towards the end? Why am I not? There we go. Let me just. Go to replays. Yeah, that looks like an eco to me. They have been like force buying a lot. They force bought a lot against Tech too yesterday, right?
那这种情况下，其实也可以考虑快 run 一波 A。为什么？因为 A 点的点内短距离交火偏多。那这一个回环型的结构呢，对于 JDG 这种协同度高的队伍来说，他们可以通过双拉推进的方式以及烟雾阻隔的方式去不断的拆解对手长枪的架枪，但如何过前点会成为一个很重要的问题。
JDG picked Sunset for their map pick, didn't they? They're gonna go back to just like their old comp, like the silver single initiator thing, and then you'd have Jakiro. What was it that Jakiro? What was it that Yoman even played on that map? Might have been the Viper. Did Wolves look good? Wolves look very good, yeah. We'd love to see it.
慢摸过点，高箱架住了 ，Storm 没有机会驾驭自己的巨刃了。
Delby has been holding his own as a duelist in this series. Like him versus Stu, I think actually Delby has the most kills. Gets headshot, has to back out. Now Bunt gets a kill onto Martin. Sitting back a little bit more. The defenders have pushed up here though from AG, so there's a lot of information, a lot of confidence to go for this too. Flash doesn't really get too much, but the peak was still good. And everything else is cleared up. I'm like standing on my shoelace. Let me just tie it real quick.
还是说 JDG 拿到13比11的胜利，两边都是只有这1分的机会了。
他们不是第一次见到这个比分了，对于 AG 来说是有一定压力的，能否战胜昨天的自己，也是当前需要去考虑的问题。
爆能器落在 B 区。
那同样对于 JDG 来说，盘点在手，但是2分都没有拿到。
Alright, one chance.
也会逐渐的给自己积累一些压力，因为我们也知道，就是一鼓作气，再而赛，三而竭的道理。一旦进入到了加时，
So, but Stu's still just as a guardian. At least he has the Blade Storm now, but like, It's just been so much forcing from JDG. LB, in fact, as the operator. Hit by the KO knife, so the Blade Storm was just hush for 8 seconds. Gonna try and dash across, a lot of snipe bats and stuff. Making a lot of noise, but there's not really anything else happening around the map for JDG. So they're just all over here. No mid lurk, no A presence. This is just a full send with a Blade Storm and a Reckoning, I imagine. Hunter's Fury, Viper's Fit, very close to these ultimates. Null Command also not too far away from Sword 9. LB is not too far away from having a showstopper again. But the KO knife gets so much information. I think it gets information onto 3. And the angle that LB is on, even with the wall. Updrafted on top. Reckoning, he's trying to dodge it, but he's had to give up that spot. Oh my god, Bunt. Great fights for them to win, and just JDG weren't reacting enough, weren't fighting the same target. Good flash from Sword 9, but the plant has gone down most importantly. Stu is still alive. Stu is dead. Martin Yihao 2 versus 5. It's shrinking down now. They're finding fights, and they're finding time, I guess, most importantly. Anybody gonna peek it? They're seeing that nobody's on it. This is starting to get really tricky now. They have to stick it. They have to stick it. Oh my god, Martin. I mean, honestly, all gamers should have won this map. If there was a player to sort of win out on a clutch that I wanted to see win out on a clutch, it was Martin. And, like, he needed to be the hero consistently. Oh my god. A 2 versus 5 from JDG won right at the end too. A fun map, entertaining. We got to see a little bit more from all gamers, showing that they're like a really good look. Like them picking Icebox, good shout. But you really want them to just close out a map like this. 2 versus 5. And just here, the fight. And that's the second time to sort of like... And it was Martin as well. I just got the spray onto 2 players that were playing way too close to this fight being diffused. I don't know if JDG should have won that though. That was way too sloppy from them. They got to their map pick of Sunset, which we have seen all gamers play. Had some like alright stuff against DRG. But see what JDG are going to cook up on this map too.